Greetings, 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 everyone. Welcome to another amazing episode of Beyond Boardroom Business. I'm your host, Coach Stephanie, and tonight, wow, let me tell you, tonight is just make sure you have your friends, your family, everyone, anyone that has a business and is looking to grow their business, especially online. I have none other than Shee Squared, and that's with two E's. Not only is she a digital strategist, she's an amazing photographer, she's also a film writer and director. So without further ado, let's just bring on Miss Shee Squared. How are you tonight, Shee?
Hello, Coach Stephanie. I'm amazing. How are you?
I am feeling fabulous. Thank you for being here on this podcast. I mean, tonight's episode about digital domination. I mean,
Yes.
this is just so important. But before we dive into that, tell us a little bit about She. Who is Shee Squared?
Well, thank you for asking. My name is Sheila Curia. However, I do go by Shee Squared of Shee Squared LLC. I am a photographer, a filmmaker, and a digital strategist. I'm based here in Atlanta. And yeah, just here I enjoy elevating brands, whether it's through my photography or helping businesses create impactful online presences. So that's just my niche right there.
That is awesome. I mean, every position that you just mentioned is so important for anyone, especially that's looking to get into business. If they can have your touches to add to their repertoire, I mean, it's just going to grow, just, exponentially. But let's start off with the digital domination. Tell us
Yeah.
the importance of why it's important to understand digital domination for your business.
Well, let's see. Why is it important to understand digital domination? Well, one, we live in a digital world, okay? We're not analog anymore, so almost everything is digital. And since I am a digital strategist and I do specialize in the social media world, personally, I think it's important because one, we have to connect to our customers in a different way now. Like, even if you do have an in-person business, an online presence is very much so needed. You know what I'm saying? You need to connect to people digitally. And a lot of people don't understand what that looks like. A lot of people are all over the place in a sense, and then some people don't even know where to start. However, I mean, you know your business, and like I said, most people are actually having a hard time transitioning to online, but they're doing great in real life. So understanding the digital world, understanding how to even communicate with the digital world is very important in today's world. Very,
Most
very.
definitely. So, can you explain social media as far as why people should, if that's where their audience is, why they need to take advantage of it, especially while it's free?
Well, I'll say this. Like I said, we are in a digital age, and whether or not your customers or your clientele is on social media, honestly, it's still necessary. It's kind of like a website. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people might walk into your business and that's how you've been getting business, but it's always good to have a representation in every space. There's no holes missing, right? Because you never know who's online looking for you. You know what I'm saying? You might not know there are people looking for you, but hey, there's somebody out there. So social media is important to me because, like I said, this is like the new age of communicating. At this point, I get responses faster tweeting or getting on X and tweeting my airline before they respond to my email. So social media is important today. I think even with the demographic growing, I personally am a millennial. So that's all we know. I'm saying? I'm going to check your social media before I check your website. If anything, your social media should be where I connect to your website. I've rarely typed in www. I'm either on Instagram or on Facebook, then I click and. So social media is important whether or not you're online or not, because the world is online. Right now we're operating digitally. We're virtual right now in this interview, so it's important for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So should they have a personal account and business account, or can they merge the two?
It depends on your brand. Honestly,
Okay.
that's solely it's literally depends on what your business is. Personally, as a person that grew into business, like I said, I'm a millennial. I used to post everything online. Then when I became more professional and everything, I actually share less. A lot of people don't know about my personal life, and that's okay. However, even in business, sometimes your audience want to really deeply connect to you. So they want to know a little something here and there. But I would say I always keep things separate. But like I said, if you're an influencer, depending on your business,
Right.
personal bringing personal on board might actually help you because some people really I say this, social media is also a place for authenticity. People can
Yes.
smell when this doesn't seem like this is who you are or this is what your company is. So yes, depending on what your business is, social media one is important regardless, and then second of all, bringing personal on will solely depend on you and your values, and if the tone and the message of the business aligns with your personal, because hey, that's marketing, you know.
You're right. You're right. So should they budget money for advertisement on social media?
I do say, as part of any business plan, marketing is important, right? And like I said, everybody's online now. So, of course. However, like in my business, I found it that I'm actually passionate more of helping people who are just starting. Of course, that comes with they don't even have a marketing budget. You know what I'm saying? Of course, most social media platforms are also free. So most people who have no budget, they just really need to learn how to, okay, present themselves to the world, how to engage with the world, and how to keep up with what the world is saying back to them. Because that's also social media is not just you posting and showing people your stuff. It's a conversation. You know what I'm saying? How fast are you? Are you responding to the comments? Do your viewers even feel heard, or they're just sitting here looking at your stuff? So I would say, as far as budgeting, yes, it's always important. Unfortunately, everything costs. And to even help you, whether you're going to hire somebody to run your social media, like you're going to have to come out of your pocket somehow, or even if it's just you. At the rate of social media and how things are going viral, and I wish abundance on everybody. So you could be operating by yourself and you have all these apps, but these apps also cost stuff. Like, we have scheduling apps these days. Now there's a lot of free stuff, but like I said, it's always wise to just put a little bit aside, as any business should already have, like in their marketing plan. And that would social media obviously falls under the marketing budget, you know.
Right, right, right. Great, great answers. So, regarding the tools on the social media tools or the software tools to
Mhm.
schedule, and uh, is the free version just as good as the paid version, or how
I mean,
should they shop?
I'm sorry, cut you up. You said how should they what? What was the last
How
thing you
should
said?
they how should they shop for their software to build their business empire?
Definitely scale your business. We have small businesses, we have big businesses. Obviously, let's say you're just starting out a very small business. With this, I actually like, because most of the times the owners actually have more time to be online, or they have a really close knit team where it's very intimate, right? So yes, there are a lot of free tools. Of course, it's always better to have the paid tools, because now a lot of things they give you teasers. Like, yeah, you can schedule your stuff, but we're not gonna automatically post it. So that you have to wake up at 6 a.m. and hit post for the free one, versus like a scheduling app like Hootsuite. You can just go ahead, set up all your stuff for the month, and forget about it. All you have to go on as to like go check your comments or engage with the DMs, but your stuff is posted at whatever time you scheduled. So there are pros and cons. I always say use the free stuff to teach yourself stuff. Also,
Yeah.
don't overstress yourself. I emphasize in strategy. You know what I'm saying? You just can't, like, don't even hop on social media if you're not ready. I always say I have a 30-30 rule. The first 30 days of being my client, we're not even posting anything. We are curating, we're collecting, we're understanding what we already have, and then we're scheduling. And then once we start posting, then all you have to do is just show up every day and see what's going on your page. So free tools are very good to at least even see what's out there for you, especially if you're a new business owner, you have time to show up to your business. You can use a free tool because they'll do just about everything but, let's say, post for you. And that's okay. Sometimes you just need a reminder somewhere to write down the caption and everything. So all you have to do is come to this app, copy paste it, and go to Instagram and share it. And honestly, these days, Meta, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, the tools, like at this point, you don't even have to outsource for a lot of things because they've integrated so many cool new things that help business owners, like automations, scheduling, all this stuff. So I would definitely start with the free, understand your business, depending on the rate your business is growing. Obviously, then you can elevate and budget now a small fee for your whatever app you could need, whether it's the content creation apps, whether it's, automation apps. So yeah, that's how I'd go about it.
Okay, some great tips. Now, can you explain Meta and what's going on with that? Because it just keeps growing.
Meta. We're in Meta right now. I mean, it's actually not hard to explain. It's very self-explanatory. It's a digital space. It's like a one-stop shop, and that's why everything is connected. Just your online digital presence is always needed because who's representing you online. So Meta is just like a network. I love it. I think it's convenient, especially the Facebook and Instagram, even YouTube. Like, everything is just there. You can share, like, across platforms. You don't have to use specific content for Facebook, specific for TikTok. So it makes the business owner or whoever's using social media, it's user friendly, very user friendly. So that's what I would say about Meta. It's a community, it's literally a world in a digital land.
Wow, that's a great way to comprehend what Meta is all about because it's just so much. And for busy business owners, especially solopreneurs, should they hire a team or when should they hire a team?
Definitely, like I said, scaling your business is important. What's important, what's on your priority list, what's on your business goals. So at the end of the day, we're all gonna grow at some point. Isn't that why we start? So of course, as you grow, the need for a marketing team or the need for a social media management team can grow because now you're too busy to do as an owner. Now you can't even keep up with the apps. Don't get it twisted. The apps make it a lot easier and you do save some money, but eventually you're going to need to revamp your content. After a year, you need new headshots. After, you need more videos. So I definitely think having a team is important at whatever tier you set for yourself. You know what I'm saying? It is a milestone because at the end of the day, like I said, every business wants to grow. Like right now, I know a lot of businesses where it's their family. It's like a husband, a wife, the kids are running the social media. Hey, but that's still a team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Eventually, as your business grows, I do suggest hiring a more professional team that is just focused primarily on that department. And I see that everywhere I work, photography and filmmaking. At one point, you just have to do one thing and you have to delegate. So it is important to be able to open these positions up for your company so you can have a stronger foundation and your system can run freely. However, starting up, we can do a lot, we're very blessed and multi-talented whenever as business owners, when it comes to like starting up. You are the marketing team, you are the admin team, your operations. So it's possible, but I always plant that seed that, hey, eventually you're going to grow, make room for these departments. They are important.
Ooh, now, why are they important? Why can't people slack on marketing or,
Well, not even slack on marketing. It's business. Business is an entity. You know what I'm saying? It's a system. And system includes a system includes a lot of moving parts, right? So how are you going to operate this side and then run back and try and operate? You're going to get overwhelmed. I don't care who you are. If
Right.
you are running a business and plan to grow into however big you want to be, you need different departments to hold it down. You can't do everything. And that's just a rule we learn as just becoming even an adult. You know what I'm saying? You just can't do everything. So it's important to be able to, one, as a business, you're giving back to the community. Now you have jobs available. That's a way I look at it. And you're growing your team, your family, because isn't that what the business is supposed to do? Just really become the entity it is. It's not this individual person. Nope. It's a whole entity. It's supposed to create communities. And hey, your first community, the first support system you have is the departments within your own system. Before you can even manifest the audience to come in, it has to match. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, big scale commercials, like people who have money to just go ahead and spend millions on a 30-second commercial, right? They started somewhere and they had to really grow, and all these moving pieces, not just one person. The original thought might have come from one person's head, but they also had to create this mastermind. So I think that's just business in general. It's just never done. You're never doing it by yourself at all. So that's a good way. Like, that's how I would look at it. Like, it's a business.
Yeah, that's right. It's either a hobby or a business. What are you going to do with your empire? And when it comes to you as the brand, because you are the brand of your business, when it comes to the look and the photography behind the look, the image, how important is the photography when it comes to shaping your brand?
Personally, as for my company, it's important. It was literally the starting ground for me, as far as like being a photographer opened up my world into film, into digital. And then if you think about it, it's all connected, right? It's all connected.
Right.
It's still digital content. And I'm just finding better use for it. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm a filmmaker, I can write these stories, but wow, this company could be also a client that wants to tell this story about their business. So it's the same formula, right? Photography has been really important because that's where I started. That's where I understood that, okay, you have gift in the vision department. I'm able to see things. It sharpened my eye. And as a business, you're also always looking for, how do I say this? It's not for you. You start off with your own vision, but then the world will tell you what they want you to be for them, because you created this for the world, right? So as a photographer, always being able to offer that fresh perspective to a business owner that has been, oh, I want my headshot to look like this. And then you're like, hey, try this pose. You know what I'm saying? They're like, you know what? Never thought of it like that. Now the audience is engaging because they're like, oh, wow. They're not just this robot, and they're actually human, and they do things that we do. So my photography shaped everything I do in business, because that's where I started. That's the first business I ever had.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
And then when it comes to you being a photographer and helping businesses with their brands, you're able, as you mentioned, you're able to show them different styles, different poses, and power poses, and the subliminal messages behind their image when they take these pictures for their business. I mean, you just can't do selfies.
No, I mean, selfies will work. Like I said, the beginning is the best because people accept you. But once you start growing, your content has to grow too. I've always had that passion for visual storytelling, and over time, I realized the power of great content. Even just taking pictures. So a few years ago, I found myself just transitioning from photography and filmmaking into the social media marketing world. I just landed there. I was just doing videos, like somebody would pay me to just, hey, can you just create this video for me for social media? And I'm like, oh, wow. well, I could see now that I'm here, I could see different things. You know, the digital strategy started kicking in. So, you know, I took a few courses and then I was like, okay, this is something I can add. And I'm not also leaving my my vision or my digital art dreams. You know, I'm still creating, I'm still being myself. So yeah.
Right. Wow. So tell us a little bit about the art of storytelling.
Storytelling. I love storytelling. I think every company has a unique story to tell, right? And honestly,
Mhm.
social media helps with that. Social media helps. Like I said, it's a conversation. You're telling a story, whether it's just from how you're commenting back to your audience, the lingo that you use, or the memes you choose to post, or what trends you choose to tap in, right? So telling that story, sometimes you can even tell when a story is too forced. Like I said, social
Yeah.
media is a very it's professional, yes, but it's also very much so given you're building a village. So we can spot a
Mhm.
phony, you know. You
Yes.
can also tell, and your algorithm will tell you that. That's I also tell people, pay attention to the numbers. They don't lie, you know, and that's how you also create your content. You sometimes you look and you realize the content you made in January is just not reaching the people in June. We have to become
Mhm.
more summer. So all of this is just storytelling, because at the end of the day, what are we doing? We're growing, right? So we get to see you from when you were doing the selfies and you know, you're just this one person, and you know, let's say it's a restaurant, let's say you know, it's just you and your family in there. 2 years later, you have a team. You know, you have multiple chains. We get to see that. You know what I'm saying? You get to preserve that in social media as well too. So in a way, everything is just telling the story for you. It's
Mhm.
whoever is on your team, whether it's you, whether you do hire somebody, you a company like myself, that would be my goal, to keep you authentic and not what's the word, consistent. Consistency is key, and I'm not just talking about posting every day. I'm talking about with your message. Like,
Yes.
is your brand saying the same thing they said? Is the vision and statement the same from when you started? Because a lot of people jump on, you know, bandwagons, and next thing you know, you're like, wait, I was following you
Right.
because of content. So that consistency is definitely very important. It's actually key to your storytelling, because I mean, don't get it twisted, you can evolve, your story can change, but that, like I said, that will be captured in that storytelling, because we're going to be able to see it. It's like, okay, when they started, there was, this is it, and now they're in a new scale, so the story has to be this way. So
Mhm.
there's so many ways to tell your story digitally, whether it's through content. Like I said, it's automatic. It's automatic from your first post to your 30-day post. That is a story. It should be a story. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So yeah.
Yes. So this is great. This is great information. So can you explain the algorithm and how often it changes? Because by the time I learn one thing, everything is changing to do something else. I mean, how do we keep up with it?
So I like to think of the algorithm as this computer, maybe AI in a sense, right?
Okay.
So this is why in my company, how I do things, like I have this thing called a 90-day revamp. I take my time before I jump in. See, a lot of people get excited. They're like, oh, post. I'm like, no, let's think about it. Let's create a content calendar, right?
Yeah.
So what the
Yeah.
algorithm does, and I'll give you a visual,
Okay.
is it's working for you. It's here to work for you, right? So
Yeah.
let's say I show up on social media on Monday. Every Monday I show up, the algorithm is like, oh wow, this person that sells this product shows up every Monday. I have a whole community of people who show up every Monday looking for this content. I now
Mhm.
trust this person to link these audiences together, right? And that's why
Yeah.
they say keep posting. So I always tell people, when you're starting off, don't rush yourself to the everyday post. You can start off with 3 days, because now sometimes you might run out of content. Which that's a whole different ball game, because recycling content is also good. And if your audience loves you, they will give you that content, because when people are giving you feedback, that's content that you can repost, right? So the
Yeah.
algorithm monitors your presence. Did you show up today? Because if you did show up, then it's going to connect you to the people who show up every day on that Monday. right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's why, like, I don't know if you're familiar with this with your own pages, and on your insights you see the days, the times, the best time to
Yes.
post, because it knows every time you've posted at 12, a lot of people don't get to see it till 2. A lot of people, maybe because they're on their lunch break, so that's what the algorithm does. And what it is, it just responds to your presence, and it connects you. It's like literally like a middleman, like an operator, like, hey, this person comes in every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I have this crew of people that come in on this time. Go ahead, put them on the Explore page. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case. So I don't know if that was a good visual, but that's how I envision the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So, and when you stop, guess what? It stops trusting you. So next thing you know, they're like, oh, they didn't show up to post today. So maybe they'll get the 80% people that show up instead of the 100 people, the 100%
Right.
that show up. So it's a conversation, and it's like the algorithm mirrors your efforts, I guess, your company's efforts. So that's the best way I'd explain the algorithm. But, people who can't grasp why it's always changing, it's literally mirroring you,
Mm.
Mhm.
Wow.
Which, let
Wow.
me add this, which is why also creating your content based off of your algorithm is also very important. That's why we
Mm.
check best times to post, stuff like that. So this way you can keep that conversation going, you know what I'm saying, and
I see.
reach more people.
So how do people find this information? Like you said, how to find their audience? They need to look at the algorithm themselves. Do they need to hire someone? What's
It's
the best?
very easy. It's very, very easy to see your insights. A lot of people think that it's this thing where you gotta call the electrician, they gotta open up the attic and gotta know.
Right?
It's actually very easy. It's as easy as you going to your settings and editing your bio, right?
Wow.
And social media has made it that easy. Obviously, algorithms and insights are not new. They've been used for decades, and
Yeah.
even your website uses an algorithm and all that stuff. But when it comes to social media, it's been so simplified to the point where it's a button. You click
Mm.
into your professional dashboard, I think Instagram calls it, or if you do go through Facebook, Meta has its whole back office, right? And you get
Yeah.
to see everything. It breaks down everything from your engagement. Now granted, if you're busy and you just don't have time, this is where departments come in. This is where you
Right.
hire people who their job is to solely focus on that. And that's also mandatory because, like I said, you're not going to be able to do everything. It's kind of like checking your emails, like as a business. Eventually, you're going to have to hire somebody to check some emails, or have an automation or a virtual assistant on Yelp, or whatever the case. So being able to see your algorithm is not bad, or being able to see your analytics, I will call them. These are
Okay.
just the results of what you've been putting out. Do you need to change something? It will tell you what kind of people watch your page, your demographic. It will tell you everything. It's very simple these days, and I love the times we live in. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
I know.
it's very simple. And it's also simple to hire somebody and even tell them what you're looking for. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like one of those things where anybody can do social media management, honestly, especially younger generations. They don't even have
Right.
to go to school, because we literally, this is a tool we were blessed to use every day. We
Yeah.
already know how it works,
That's
you know?
so
So
true.
yeah, so the algorithm and your back office is very simplified thanks to social media today. It's very easy to read, very basic, and if you need to go in depth, this is where a marketing department comes in. Now you can start setting goals as a team, KPIs, and all that good stuff. So yeah.
Yes. I love it. I love it. So tell me, what do you love about being a film writer and director?
Oh my God. What's there not to love? I honestly think it is my sole purpose. I mean, down to just my DNA, honestly.
Mm.
I'm a born storyteller. I'm African. I'm from East Africa,
Okay.
and my tribe actually, down to my naming. I was named after a clan that is known for their storytelling. Okay, and
Wow.
their intuition. So, like when I say I am very much so in alignment with myself. I love storytelling, and not because it's something I picked up and I studied. I realized I was just naturally in it. Like I said, down to
Mhm.
my DNA, right?
Yeah.
Um, being able to, like I said, photography was it opened up my world to the digital art space and being able to capture things, right? Being able to capture time, the stillness of time, preserving a moment in a picture is a lot. Being
Yes.
able to tell a whole story, though,
Yeah,
is powerful.
it
I think
is.
it's so powerful, especially in this world that we live in. I personally believe the music we listen to and the films or whatever we watch can control human beings. Like, so personally, just from my experience as a human being, just from my heart and my soul, I just have stories to tell. Like when I go out and I see something, I notice I have such a different perspective. And I mean, isn't that what we're all here for? To be able to connect, to share different perspectives. And by the time we leave here, we're like, oh, now I get why this person does this, or now I get why this and this happens. Like that's the part that we don't talk about a lot. We just come here, oh, I need a business, I need to work. No, we here to have fun, to enjoy, to learn each other, to understand our humanity.
Yeah.
And being a filmmaker allows me to explore that to the max. I
Oh,
mean, being able to imagine things, different outcomes, being able to control things, being able to
yes.
community, being able to have a platform to have a stand to say something. That's power. So yes, when it comes to storytelling, man, we can keep going. Look, I'm gonna have to come back as a filmmaking recipient for the podcast, because that's another whole different episode, but
Yeah.
I genuinely love it. It comes in natural for me. I love connecting people, connecting stories, and being able to share, being able to reach somebody, because I mean, I was that one person just watching, like, I don't see myself, or I don't, like, I think this, or does anybody else in the world think the way I do? Like, does anybody else think the sky is magenta? you know? Okay, let's not get delusional, but yes, um, you
Yeah.
know, storytelling is just who I am. Naturally, you'll feel it even when you meet me as a person, just casually. There's something deep about me. I got stories to tell for sure. Some I don't even know how I acquired this information. It must have been passed down,
Yes.
So.
It has to be. Yeah. I mean, when it just comes naturally,
Exactly.
speaks
Definitely.
volumes. Wow. So, how can people find you?
Well, you can find me on social media. Um, you can find me. I have a website. My website is sheesquared.com, which is SheeSquared. Every business that I offer, I always start with a consultation. So that's
Yes.
the fastest way to get to me, as far as like, hey, I have an idea for a film. I don't know where to go. Book a consultation. They're free. You can go to my website and book that. Other than that, I do have a list of services that I offer that you can book directly. You can also reach out to me via email. Actually, I'm shocked how many people still email. I've been receiving a lot of emails between last year and this year, and I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I check my email every day. A lot of
Right.
people, they probably saw your email somewhere, or like if you pass out a digital card. So my email is info@sheesquared.com. So info@sheesquared, SheeSquared.com. Other than that, my business phone number is 470-222-3989. You can text me, you can call me. My social media handles are my name, Shee Squared. Shee Squared Pro for Instagram, but everything else is Shee Squared. TikTok, whether it's Facebook, you can find everything Shee Squared.
I
So
love it.
that's the easiest way to find me. Like I said, my website, booking a consultation, whatever it is, whether it's digital marketing, whether it's photography, whether it's filmmaking, hey, you
Man,
got
yeah,
me.
you are the guru. So, do
Yeah.
you have any closing statements or tips or anything for our listeners and viewers?
Well, hey, get a social media presence. That would be it. No, but I genuinely want to say thank you. Thank you so much, Coach Stephanie. Thank you for having me here today.
Of course.
Obviously, as you can tell, I'm passionate about helping businesses build,
Yes.
authentic connections, I would call it.
Yes.
What it's through film, photography, social media. So if anyone listening is looking for any kind of elevation, they don't know where to start. They just want to elevate or improve their online presence,
Yes.
let me know. It can go down to just strategizing. Maybe you already have a team and I can help that. Just putting a plan in place. It can be down to, hey, I need somebody to post for me every day. We do all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
So yeah, feel free to reach out, and I'd definitely love to connect. I would love to connect.
Oh, wow. We definitely need to have you back. This is just part one of so many.
Exactly. Exactly. Definitely. It was a
Wow.
pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. And I definitely look forward to our next conversation.
For sure. Thank you, Coach Stephanie.
You're welcome. All right, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I mean, when it comes to algorithms and writing and photography and directing, I mean, she has it all, especially when it comes to the digital strategy. You need to contact Shee Squared. Again, that's SHEE Squared.com. Thank you all. I hope you all really enjoyed this as much as I did. And I want to thank you all again for tuning in every week, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to Beyond Boardroom Business with your host, Coach Stephanie. And until the next time, stay prayerful, stay persistent, and stay powerful. I look forward to hearing from you all soon. Take care. Peace.